What is generative AI? Generative AI is being talked about a lot these days, but what actually is it? Let's take a look. Artificial intelligence, usually shortened to AI, is an area of computing that focuses on getting computers to do things that are similar to tasks that require human intelligence. The term artificial intelligence was created in the 1950s when a group of American scientists came together at an event called the Dartmouth Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence. This event is often claimed to be the birthplace of the field of AI, but since then, many people have questioned if artificial intelligence is the most accurate or useful term for the huge range of things in this area. There's a lot of different methods and approaches under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. Many of these involve using huge amounts of data to do things like make predictions or generate new content. The second one is what we're interested in for this video. Generative AI refers to a field of AI that involves training AI models on lots of data and then using these models to generate new content that matches patterns, information, and conventions found in the training data. This generation can be done in specifically designed tools or can be integrated into existing applications. You might have seen generative AI features in software you already use, or you might have tried out generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or Microsoft Copilot. The world of generative AI changes so quickly that by the time you're watching this video, those tools might have changed or new ones might have emerged. The generative AI tools available today are created using this process and therefore need a large amount of training data to work. What this data actually is poses a huge question for generative AI, as that impacts what specific tools can generate, how accurate they might be, and what kinds of representations of the world they offer. There are also questions around copyright and intellectual property, as generative AI tools are trained using other people's work. There are many other ethical and security questions around generative AI. The data used to train generative AI might contain biases or inequalities that are replicated in any content generated by the tool. To train and run generative AI tools requires a large amount of computing power and electricity, which has an impact on our climate and resources. There's also a human side to generative AI, from the people who create these tools and those who fund them, who make their own decisions about how they should work, to the people who label the data sets the AI model is trained on. Despite AI often being seen as something that might replace humans, currently it needs a lot of them to exist. Another important issue around generative AI is the concept of false authorship, which means generating content using an AI tool and passing it off as your own work. In an educational context, this can hide your own learning and ability and often causes your work to stand out as clearly having been generated. In any context, saying you created something that was actually generated by AI is often apparent from mistakes or unnatural elements. For example, people currently joke about how bad AI image generation is at getting the number of fingers right on pictures of humans. There can be mistakes in content generated by AI. There are lots of reasons for this, like the fact that there's lots of errors out there on the internet anyway. Anything generated by AI needs to be carefully checked for accuracy, appropriateness, and bias. Because of this, it is often better for generating initial structures or ideas rather than creating any final content. If you're looking to use generative AI in a work or education context, you should always check any rules or guidance around when it is appropriate to use generative AI and when it isn't. Generative AI is an area that has grown quickly in popularity. We don't know yet whether it will be forgotten just as quickly or is here to stay, but regardless, it is useful to know how it works and be aware of the issues that surround it. Our understanding of generative AI helps us to question how it is used and ensure that if we use it purposefully, now and in the future. For more on what generative AI is and how to use it, visit our guide at subjectguides.york.ac.uk/generative-AI.